Welcome to McKeon Park, where the final week of the Cape League season has all the drama. Hyannis and Cotuit are separated by a single point and cling to the last two playoff spots in the West Division. The Kettleers may be cold after two straight losses, but Cotuit is white hot against Hyannis, having captured the season series. Meanwhile, the Hawks have found their legs of late and look to end a tumultuous month of July with a playoff push. It's the 5th edition of the Battle of Barnstable on Cape League TV. Folks, how lucky are we? Welcome inside the broadcast booth here at McKeon Park for Game 35 of the Cape Cod Baseball League season. With Max Schwartzberg and Graham Nash, I'm Giovanni Culotta. Max, the Hawks enter this pivotal final week of the season hot, winners in 2 of their last 3 games, and it's because they've capitalized on free passes.
And not just 3 passes, a plethora. How about 19 walks issued to the Harbor Hawks hitters, 3 hit by pitches, and then 7 errors committed by opponents. And Hyannis 2-1 in the last 3 games. They're finally starting to do something that they didn't do all month, take advantage of those free passes. And a team like Cotuit, who hasn't issued that, if they give you that tonight, you're going to have to lock in.
And Graham, Hyannis may be trending upwards, but it faces a Cotuit team that's had its number this season.
Yeah, it really has, and we've been talking about how good Cotuit's ERA is, but I want to talk about the hitting that the Kettleers have put on most recently. Over the course of the last 3 games these two teams have played, 12 extra base hits, including 2 grand slams for the Cotuit Kettleers. It's just all come together for them. And Hyannis pitching is really going to have a tough task ahead of them because the first game that these two teams played, Cotuit had no extra base hits, and Hyannis won 3-1. So it's all going to come down to pitching, and for Hyannis, it has to be sharp.
Well, these two teams are neck and neck in the West Division standings. Mitch Carricker knows how significant this week is for his Harbor Hawks, and I caught up with him moments ago. Giovanni Culotta catching up with manager Mitch Carricker pregame. Coach, this is the time last year where your team surged into a West Division title with 7 wins in 9 games. How do you rekindle that now?
Just taking it one pitch at a time, I think, is most important. You can't get caught looking too far ahead. Tonight's a big one. Cotuit's a good team. They've played us really tough every time we feel like we faced them, and so it starts tonight just winning pitch 1 with Mason on the mound and going from there.
The Kettleers have won each of the last 3 games by big margins. How do you quell their fire on offense tonight?
Yeah, I think for us it's going to be executing pitches and playing good defense. I think that's how you start and how you finish. And it's going to start with Mace, and we really like the matchup. We think he's throwing the ball really good, and for him, throwing strikes is going to be number 1, and then playing good defense behind him.
Last time out against Wareham, you improved your record in 1-run games with a couple of key walks in big spots. Well, how does your team show up in that moment every time?
Yeah, I think they did a really good job. They understand the strike zone. They know how to work the counts and put ourselves in a position to win. Obviously we would have liked to probably get more than 1 run that inning. But credit our guys. Jeff had a huge walk there to give us the lead, and then giving the ball to Kelly to finish it out. It felt really good.
Playing a guy tonight on the mound for Cotuit and Ryan Buckler that you've seen before this season. How do you carry that from last game into another matchup with a pitcher you're familiar with? Yeah,
hopefully the hitters that saw him, understand how they're going to get pitched. Understand what he's throwing and how we can be successful against him. For us, it's going to be, can we eliminate the strikeouts? Can we put the ball in play? Being able to hit with runners in scoring position is going to be huge for us. And so, all those little things are going to add up to a really good game, and looking forward to a good challenge tonight.
Hyannis and Cotuit meeting for a 5th and final time at this regular season. Coach, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Guys? Well, Max, Coach Carricker is not focused on the future ahead of this big week.
Yeah, it's crunch time, but he's doing everything that he can to control everything, because that entails his ability to, control the next pitch, because if it's the next pitch mindset, there's not going to be an opportunity for the Harbor Hawks to get caught up in what's going on, because we do know there's only 5 games left in the season. It's a point in the year where you are scoreboard watching a little bit, but all you can do is focus on your game in the next pitch.
And Max, you mentioned the scoreboard watching. Graham, it'd be hard not to think about the future a little bit, given how big this slate is for Hyannis.
Yeah, it really is. 1 point behind Bourne, who's in that 2nd playoff spot. 1 ahead of this Cotuit team they're about to play, and then 4 ahead of Falmouth. It is really close right now in the West Division, and it really has been. Since the beginning of July, no team has wanted to take this. No team in the West Division has been willing to do what it takes to run away with it. And so we're now in this position where this last week is going to be dramatic. There are going to be big swings, and it's going to just come down to who wants it the most.
Well, 2 of the mainstays in the Hyannis lineup, Jake Schaffner and Ryan McKay, are going to be critical to that playoff push. And our sideline reporters, Ethan Wax and Ava Fernandez, caught up with them pregame.